Now it's time to start constructing the tree, and we're going to begin by doing the trunk of the tree, and for that we need trunk B, which gets cut from medium weight chipboard using the template that's on the tree templates sheet. So I've cut two of them, and it says make one a mirror image. You can cut them both the same way. You just will end up with two like this. Just flip it over, and that's how you get your mirror image. And then there's other pieces on that, but we will work with them in a little while. And then the other pieces we need for the trunk are two at piece A, which is cut 1/2 inch by 7 inches, and then two at trunk C, and these are 1 inch by 8.5. And on the cutting directions it says what direction should these pieces be stiff, and these are stiff in the vertical position. And then we have the central piece, which is trunk D, which is 1.25 inches wide by 8.5 tall, and it also has the little 1 inch circle cut in it that is 2.25 inches from the top. Be careful, these side edges here are very narrow, so when you go to remove that from the template, make sure you don't fracture that. So those are the pieces we need to get started with our tree trunk. So let's get them laid out here in order. So we start with an A, and then we'll add a B, a C. We only have one D, it goes in the middle. Then we'll reverse the process, C, B, and A. Now when we go to join these together, we're just going to butt join all of the central pieces. You can see piece A is a little bit longer than the distance down here to where the root comes out, but what we'll do is we will join it just down to where it does meet, and we'll just let it overhang here in the back. So just take construction joining strips and join each one of these sections together in order, and I will do that, and when I've done that I'll be back to show you what's next. Okay, I'm back. I have joined. You can see I've made all of my butt joints here for all of my pieces. Also where the joining strips covered up part of the knot hole here, I have trimmed that away. And so here's the outside, looks like this. And how this is going to work is, let's stand this up on its end here. And the tree trunk is going to fit around the left side of the case. Here it is on the front. And so it fits around the side like this. And I think you can see that there's some gaps here on the spine edge and on the front and the back. So next what we want to do is cut some support pieces that will fit inside of there to help keep that structure of the tree supported and away from the case. So to do that, we'll start with the pieces that go on trunk B, and we're using, this is lightweight chipboard. This piece is cut 2 inches by 5 inches, and we'll do some scoring first, and then we'll cut this into little strips. And so we want to score at 1 1/8 inch intervals, and so that would be 1 1/8, and you can score on this chipboard if you just go slowly, and then 2 1/4, and then 3 3/8, and then 4 1/2. Now these B pieces are cut 1/4 inch wide. And it is possible to cut this on your paper trimmer, so, or you can cut it with your craft knife. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll be back. I'm back. I have cut the 2-inch wide strip into 8 pieces at, oh, here's number 8. I was like, where's number 8? 8 pieces that are 1/4 inch wide, and what I want to do is just form these into little boxes, and that's what the score marks are for. And when I have them into a little box, I'm just going to, there's a little, because they're 5 inches long, there's a little extra place here, and I'm just going to take my tiny attacher and use it to make a little square box. So I'm going to do that for all 8, and then I'll be back. I'm back. I finished making all of my little support pieces, and these are, as I said, I hope before, these go on the B part. So trunk B is the one with the long root coming out, and I'm just going to turn it this way so it's facing me and I can work easier. I just want to space these, center them in trunk B, and just kind of space them out so they're not right up against the top edge, and they're, it's not critical, just kind of, one at the top and bottom, and the 2 others that are interspaced in the middle. And I'll just use some wet glue and put that on the bottom edge of each one. It's not important that they stay perfectly square either. Just hold that for a second, and then move along and put the others in this one, and then move over here to the other trunk B and use the other 4. So I'll be back when I've accomplished that. I've got all of the little support pieces attached to both sides of trunk B, and now we're going to make the ones that go in on trunk D. And so to do that, I have C written here, but that's not correct. Nothing goes on C, these go on D. And these are scored the same way. Let's do that. 1 1/8, every 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/8, 2 1/4, 3 3/8, and 4 1/2. But these are cut a little bit wider than the first ones we did. These we're going to cut at 3/8 inch wide. 3/8 inch wide. And then I'll attach them into 4 little boxes and put them on the middle here in trunk D, with the exception that we won't put this one in around the knot hole yet. I'll get the other 3 on, and then we'll come back and work on the knot hole. Okay, I'm back. I've got these 3 on, and I have this one set aside to work on the knot hole. And to create the depth around the knot hole, I've cut a piece of the lightweight chipboard that is 3/8 inch by 3 1/2. And you want this to be flexible so that you can easily turn this into a circle. So before I do that, I'm going to just take a marker and just kind of paint the inside of that knot hole. I'm planning to try to cover that up with some cardstock, but just in case it isn't totally successful, we'll have this colored so that you can't see it as well. And then I'll just come around the inside of the knot hole on the tree trunk. I'm just holding it kind of gingerly since the glue isn't dry yet. And there, so we've got that done. So we have a 1-inch circle here, and what we want to do is to make this so that the inside diameter is 1 inch as well. And I'm just kind of running it around my fingers here. Now, I was just looking around to see if I have anything that is about 1 inch diameter that I could form this around. Alright, I'm back, and what I found that is just the right size to fit through this hole is a little bottle of alcohol ink. So I can take my piece of chipboard and form that around there, and we'll put a little dab of glue, and I may staple that as well, but I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here. And just hold that for a second till it sets up. And then what we're going to do is put that inside of our little square here. So I'll just put some glue kind of on 4 sides, one of them being where I just made that join so that it gets reinforced. And drop that down inside of our little square. It should fit pretty well. And then we can take this whole little assembly and put glue on the bottom of the knot hole and glue on the bottom of the square. Put that on top of my patty paper. See if I can get everybody lined up here. I'm coming around to work from the front side here. Press that down. When I get that knot hole just in the right place, I'll just give it some pressure and hold it there for a few minutes until that sets up. Then we'll let all of this thoroughly dry and we'll come back for our next steps.